Hey y'all, welcome back to the Power and Lifting Podcast. I'm your host, Solana Lewis. Today I speak with Mandy Ogoe. She just competed at USAPL Raw Nationals. Her first ever Raw Nationals, she was competing at primetime, ended up in the top 5, broke an American record squat, and she's so new to powerlifting. She's got so much time to keep getting stronger and growing. It was really fun talking to her, getting to know her, talking about her prep, battling through injuries, and just all about her performance. So I think you'll love the episode. And let's go ahead and dive in right after you press subscribe to the podcast. If you're on YouTube, hello, press subscribe to YouTube. And if you can, leave a 5-star rating and review. Helps us get the podcast out to more people. All right, now let's dive in. All right, y'all. I'm here with Mandy Ogoe, and I'm excited to talk to you because I remember the first time I saw you on Instagram when Steve Denovi sent me your profile. And it was like probably 3 months out from Nationals. He was like, you have to watch her. He's like, when she like starts to nail technique, she's going to be a problem. And I was like, oh. And I saw you, I was like, yo, I've never seen somebody this jacked in my life.
Laughing so hard right now. But I was like so like caught off guard. My coach had already like listened to the podcast even before the competition, but I had like no idea. I had no idea about it until after the competition when he finally told me, "Oh, by the way, you were on a podcast." Um and I was like so honored because y'all had good things to say. So I was so happy, like it made my whole week. Yeah.
Well, that makes me happy to hear. And yeah, girl, we pay attention. Like we're like, especially like 67 class, like that's my weight class too. So like, and then Steve has athletes in it. So like we scout for every weight class, like for the podcast, but like we scout 67. Like we like dig
Especially
67.
it's like a competitive weight class too. Yeah, like there's some girls in there that have like 500 dots is like normal for that weight class, you
I
know?
know.
And that's crazy, I
I
feel.
know. I
Yeah.
feel too. No, the whole primetime roster, I think, was 500 plus dots. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't think every single weight class had every single primetime roster at 500 plus. Like,
Yeah. And I was so happy to have made that switch to prime time. I think that that was like the best meet that I've ever had in my life. So I'm definitely happy I did that.
yes. Well, we're about to dive into the meet soon, but you have been powerlifting since 2021, from what I can see on Open Powerlifting. Is that right?
Yes. Yeah, I started and I was actually at the gym one day just working out, and someone from the Texas State powerlifting team came up to me and was like, "Hey, you should join." And I decided to join. I had no idea what I was doing. I had no knowledge about the sport, but I just knew that I really liked lifting heavy. So, um, with deadlift and bench, especially, like I started in 2021, but I had been squatting for like a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so yeah, I'm so glad that I joined too, because it's like one of the best things that has ever happened to me. So yeah.
Well, one, what school do you go to? Because I know it's in Texas. And then two, why do you say it's one of the best things that ever happened to you?
So I go to Texas State University. It's in
Nice.
San Marcos. And I say that because the community that we have here in Texas State, because it's a club, the community and the support that I've gotten from my team is absolutely insane. The friends that I've made along the way, the support is insane. And it just makes me so happy to have that support system and to have made friends along the way. So I think that makes it one of the best things that has ever happened to me.
And that's one big thing that a lot of people say about powerlifting, which I love. Like the community aspect is so much fun because you'll just find like awesome people and you all have a big goal of getting stronger. And especially as women, like it's definitely more normalized now for sure for women to be stronger. But it's
Yeah.
just dope to have strong friends. You still go out in public and you're like, yo, people don't lift. Like people really just be out here not lifting weights. Like
Dude, I agree. Like you get so used to like working out and being around that community that when you go out in public, it's so crazy like to not be surrounded by that. It's so crazy to see like other people who don't work out because it's like such a big part of my life.
mm-hmm.
So it's just so crazy that some people just they don't even like
Like it doesn't cross their mind to lift weights.
yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
It's so
what? Like
crazy.
I saw my family, like extended family 2 weeks ago for the
Mhm.
first time forever, some of them, and I was like, y'all have not lifted in years. Like I can see it. Like y'all just went away and
Not
you just
I
didn't
can
lift.
see it.
Girl, I'm listen, it's just the truth. I'm just saying. I'm like, so you all just stop working out together. Everyone but me. Just stop. Like, what happened? Like, it's my own family, so I can be a jerk. Don't worry, I'm not just mean to other people. But I was like, I don't understand. Like
Yeah, that's pretty funny. How long have you been lifting?
me,
Yeah.
girl. Well, I started powerlifting when I was 19, so I'm 27. So let's back it up. It's
Wow.
2023. So the beginning of 2016, I think. And then I only been lifting weights for a year before that because I did like sports my whole life, but no one taught me how to lift. So I was doing swimming and track and volleyball, but like never went to the weight room once until my freshman year of college.
Wow, so you've been in this sport for a while.
A
That's
little
awesome.
bit.
That's
Yeah, that's
awesome.
why when new people like you pop up, I'm like, who are you? Who are you? Y'all be just coming out of nowhere nowadays.
Dude, 'cause I also did track in high school too.
I'm sure you did. I want to talk about.
Okay.
I need to know. Like, I need to know your history of sports because you look insane. So I need to understand.
Thank you. Honestly, I feel it's also genetics. So
Well, I have that question too. I'm like, wait, what part of Africa are you from?
Ghana. Okay, Ghana. I was born there. I lived there for like 10 years before I came here. So yeah, it's like ever since I was little, okay, I've had muscles. Even before I started working out, I remember in kindergarten literally showing my classmates my muscles and they were touching it and they were trying to flex too, but nothing was there. They're like, how are you doing that? And I'm like, I don't know.
That's
So
incredible, dude.
yeah, I've always been muscular my whole life, but obviously more so now that I started like working out, you know. And so in high school I did track, but I really sucked. I sucked at everything. Okay,
Really?
I tried cross country, I
Okay.
tried the 100-meter dash, I tried hurdles. I even tried long jump, triple jump, shot put, discus. I was not good at it.
I'm really shocked. I thought you would tell me that you were the 100, the 200, triple and long jump. I knew you were going to say that, but I thought you were going to say, and I killed it.
No, I would literally go hide in the bathroom when my race was up because I didn't because I knew I was gonna embarrass myself, okay? Because I did it once and I lost so bad. And then also with my physique, people were already assuming that I was gonna be fast. So the fact that I would go out there and like lose, you know, it was like embarrassing, you know. So I would go hide in the bathroom when they were calling names for them to like start and because I didn't want to embarrass myself, but I was like, oh my god, I have to get better at track. So then I started lifting weights to get better at running because I don't know. And then I got stronger, but I wasn't getting better at running. like I was getting stronger.
Yeah.
My legs were growing, but I wasn't. the running just wasn't there for me. So, but
Got
that's how I
you.
found out I was really strong.
So wait, so this started in high school. So like, did you say you were squatting? So what was
Yeah.
the most you squatted in high school before you even knew of the sport?
Um 315, but let me explain, okay?
What?
I didn't go all the way down. I went like I did not even hit parallel. Like it was
Okay.
so bad, okay?
Okay.
But I was ego lifting. I didn't know what I was doing, you know. Yeah, like I was like, because like I didn't really know about powerlifting, right? I
Mm-hmm.
was just more concerned about like growing my legs. And so I was like, if I'm not hitting depth and like my legs are still growing, then what's the point? That was my mindset.
I
So
hear you because you just grow. So I mean, I couldn't get away with that, but you, I hear you. I would probably do the same thing as a teenager.
so that was my mindset as a teenager, and I didn't know what I was doing, and I didn't know about like gradual progression, and I was just ego lifting, and because I wanted to impress everyone. So that's why I squatted 315, but it didn't count because of how high I squatted. It was so high. So yeah.
So when you started powerlifting, what year in college were you in?
I was a sophomore.
Cool. So at this point, obviously you're I'm guessing you're still training, just like working out.
Yes, I was working out. I was still squatting. And because my upper body was already developed because of genetics,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what's the point in like benching and like doing all this extra stuff? I'm just gonna work on my lower body. I'm just gonna squat and I'm just gonna do leg accessories and just get away with it. So I also didn't deadlift, but I was very familiar with like squats because I did it so often, so that's why my squat is so strong because I've been doing it since high school.
Yep, that squat, that American record squat is quite strong.
Yeah.
Quite strong, 200 kilos.
Thank you.
And
I appreciate
and were
it.
you squatting to death when you learned about powerlifting before you started powerlifting though? You were.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Because we had to do tryouts, and I was like, ugh. Now I had a reason to squat to depth,
Okay.
because I knew with powerlifting, one of the rules was that like, it doesn't count if it's not depth.
Mm-hmm.
So then that's when I started like actually squatting to depth and like practicing so that way I could be perfect for the tryouts because I really wanted to make the team, you
Mm-hmm.
know. So when I did try out, I ended up maxing out with 290 because also I was kind of like on and off with the training before I started powerlifting. Like I
Mm-hmm.
would I would train for like 6 months and then take 6 months off. So I was very like inconsistent. But whenever I knew that I wanted to join the powerlifting team, that's when I started being a little bit more consistent. And then when I became a powerlifter, I was like, it's been like two years now, and I haven't taken like more than a week off of lifting. So even after competitions, I'll still like train like a few days following.
I'm mostly the same way. Funny enough, this year, but I had a vacation right after for the first time. So I took like 2 weeks off, but I was hiking the whole time. But like I never do that. But like I always get back in like 3 days. Like I cannot handle like a whole week off. I'm like, no, I'm lost. I don't know what to do. I
Are
don't care
you
if I'm a coach.
addicted like me?
Of course, girl. I mean, I feel like if you compete for years, at that point, it's like, all right, now I'm supposed to just not
Yeah,
live for a week. Like that's crazy.
yeah, yeah.
Like I wake up, have a morning routine, then lift. So I'm like, so my whole day is just off if I did not lift. I'm like, wait.
Awesome. That's awesome. So you just like, have you ever had a moment where you thought that like powerlifting was like too much and perhaps you didn't want to do it anymore or like you wanted to like take a break? because I know you've been competing for a long time. So have you ever had those moments before or not?
Yes. Okay, so I like how you're gonna spin this around. It's gonna be a little dual conversation. I like it. All right, absolutely. I don't think anyone's ever asked me this question on the podcast, actually.
Really? I mean,
Yes,
are
I
you
love it.
okay with
So,
me
oh,
asking
I
you?
love it. I'm like obsessed. So, okay. I absolutely had this moment, and it was okay, it must have been 2019. So long make a real long story short, I did go to IPF Worlds in 2018. I was 2 years into powerlifting. I went to
Wow.
Junior Worlds, got first place, world champion,
Whoa.
woohoo, right? So I was so excited. And
Yeah.
then, but I was dealing with the injury. I was dealing with the injury for like a few months going into that competition. I still say God's grace, God's hand came down and saved me that day because for some reason I had no pain, but I was in pain all the way up to the meet and
Yeah.
after. So it was crazy. Like did like maybe 2 squats within the last month of training for the meet, like two, like literally 2 reps. Like I was in so much pain, so I couldn't squat.
So
It
crazy.
was
So you
wild.
were in no pain during the competition.
No pain during the competition.
What? That's God.
I told you, I'm like
That's
Jesus was like, I
something
got you, cause
otherwise. It
so
has
that
to be.
was.
There's no other explanation.
I know. I'm like, I don't know what else that could have been. So thank you, Jesus.
What?
But after that, it
Yeah.
was rough. Like 20, like the nationals after 2018 nationals, like just so much pain constantly going into the meet. The meet was not great. Every squat hurt. Like
What kind of an injury was it?
my L5S1, the discs were really compressed. I got like a what's it called? An X-ray. So yeah, there was like barely any cartilage left,
Oh,
and it's still like that. But just also my technique was not great. Like I didn't know how to brace properly. I would like hyperextend. Like you know, like people who are really new, like they do like the stripper booty squat where they stick out their butt a lot. Like that was me.
high school.
That was me, but it bit me in the butt because it got me injured. Because I kept doing it, but I kept getting real strong real fast. So,
Yeah.
even deadlifting, you should have seen my just arching my back. Yeah, it's just horrible, like hideous, bad. Don't understand how I became world champion. It was ugly, but like, so that caused it for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was definitely 2019 where I was just like, I'm still in pain. I haven't gotten stronger. My deadlift at that point, after 2018 competition, like after Worlds, like I never PR'd it again. And I didn't PR my deadlift until literally last year, 2022. So there
Whoa.
was years of me just fumbling on deadlift. I didn't know what was going on. I didn't miss training sessions. And even when I
Wait,
got to
was
put
it
my
because of the
hmm?
pain or because of technique?
No, it was really a combination of some of it was pain, but the pain cleared up the end of 2019. But also
Okay.
it was just like we struggled. I have multiple coaches between this time, but we just struggled to figure out the programming to get me stronger. Like I was getting strong really fast and it just dead stop, couldn't figure out what to do. So that
So
was
you just
rough. So
plateaued
yeah,
for
just
like years.
hard plateau. Like
Oh my
squat went
God.
up, it kept going up,
Yeah.
and like
What about
bench
bench?
slowly, but it went up. Bench kept going up too. It was slower, but it went up. And then deadlift was just like I would fail the last 2 deadlifts. And if you look at World Powerlifting, there's like 5 meets in a row over like 3 years, just fail, fail, fail at the last 2 deadlifts.
Oh
Like
my
just and I
God.
was like, I don't know. I hired a nutrition coach, like me if I meet the nutrition. Nope. I was like doing all the steps. I'm like, I feel great. I just feel like I have no gas left by the time I get to my deadlift. So that was
Crazy.
yeah.
I bet that was so frustrating for you.
Girl, it was rough. And then when the pandemic hit, I really thought I was gonna stop. I was like, this is my chance. Like everyone's, at a halt. I haven't progressed, so I'm not having fun anymore because I'm just like used to doing so poorly. Like my
Oh,
total's going down because I can't even match my best deadlift. So even my squat and bench would go up, my total will either be the same or go down because my dead wasn't. So I was just like, maybe I'll be done. So yeah, I had that moment, a big one, 2020.
wow. That's kind of an inspiring story because you're still here, you're still powerlifting, and you got over that plateau, right?
I did. Thank you. Brad Coulier is my coach. Thank God for him. He's
So
incredible.
is it because you got a new coach? Is that why?
Combination of a few things. It was I got a new coach, so I will always love Brad. But also I cleaned up my life outside of it. And like just basically like I was like really stressed out, working multiple jobs at once, not sleeping, not eating well, like drinking like coffee, not water, like just like
Yeah.
stereotypical stuff that you do in college. But I was not in college. I had like an unhealthy lifestyle. But by unhealthy, I just mean like I just straight up ate like fast food, didn't sleep. I
Oh
didn't
my
even party. I just like didn't sleep. I was working. I work.
God.
I was working. No, girl, I would get to work at 5 a.m. and I would work 3 jobs and be home at 10:30 p.m. and have to get up again at 4.
Oh
So
my God.
I didn't sleep.
Okay. Now I'm not
Yeah,
judging you so hard.
no, I didn't party. Like I can count on one hand how many times I party, like even in college. Like I didn't even drink. Like I just was a mess.
You were
Um,
like working a lot.
just working a lot, yeah. But once that all changed, and 2020 changed it, like the pandemic kind of helped me a lot because I had to quit the job.
Mhm.
um, that got better,
Well,
a
that's
lot
awesome.
better.
I'm glad to hear that. That's
And
awesome.
thank you. And like you're so new to the sport too. Like you're like 2 years in, and your progress is so incredible. Like
It's because I have an amazing coach.
I looked up your coach, but I'll be honest, I had never heard of him until I looked him up
No,
for the preview show.
yeah, a lot of people don't know about him, but he's pretty awesome. Like we work so well together, with like communication and all that stuff. And I when I first got with him, I was like damaged goods because the reason I say that is because I had shoulder pain, knee pain, back pain.
Ooh.
Like I could not lift anything because all of like squat was compromised because of my knee pain, deadlift because of my back pain, bench because of my shoulder pain. Like I couldn't do anything. And so I didn't think that he was gonna even like want me anymore, you know?
Mm,
But I was very transparent with him. I was like, look, I'm like hurt. So I don't know if you still want me as a client, but I'm willing to do whatever it takes. Like I need your help. And he was like, we'll figure this out. And guess what we did? I didn't think
hey.
I would be able to even squat 315 again, let alone holding a world record because he knew how to like program around my my injuries. He knew how to like communicate. We progressed very, very slowly and I overcame that because I thought that I was gonna have to quit powerlifting
Mm,
because of the injuries. And I'll still have flare-ups like with my back every now and then, but he's so patient and he's so awesome and he talks me through it and we program around it and we do what we can. So I've also had that moment where I'm like, is powerlifting for me? Because a 22-year-old with back pain, like, oh my God, it's so discouraging, because I'm like, sometimes I feel like I'm 50 or something.
mm.
But I'm just so lucky to have him because of how patient he is and how he programs around my injuries and how we always overcome these obstacles together. And so I went from like damaged goods to like being on prime time literally a year and a half later of being with him. So yeah, I'm pretty
That's
happy.
incredible. And you're saying a year and a half later, so he got you like after your first meet then?
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
it was like a few months after my first meet. I decided to switch coaches because he he promised that he would like try his best to like work around my injuries and stuff like that. So I just trusted him. I was really desperate and I trusted him and I think that it was one of the best decisions that I ever made. So
That's incredible. And like, were you actually like, did you get injured doing something specific, or did you just start to have gradual pain that didn't go away?
um I started to have gradual pain that just didn't go away. I think that the previous coach I had, he was really awesome and I didn't want to leave him because I'm so big on loyalty. But I think that his programming was too harsh for me, maybe.
Mm.
For my body was just too intense. So that's why I developed all of these injuries. And we didn't really know what to do from there because I couldn't lift anything, you know? And so I was really desperate. That's why I switched coaches, and I'm very happy that I did. I don't think I would be here if I didn't. So
That
yeah.
is so great. Hold on. Shout out to Mr. Warrior Fitness, Juan Pablo Quijano. As I read it right here, I was like, let me keep it up. I'm gonna mess it up. But that's great though, because like having a coach that you can easily talk to, communication's excellent, you guys vibe well, but also like they can really take into account what's going on and work with you. And it's not even like fast. Like it takes time for them to like understand what
Yeah.
to do for you. But if
Yeah.
they're willing to really work on it and like
Yeah.
take your feedback, it can make all the difference. Like that's how I felt with my current coach. I'm like, I had never had someone so attentive to
Yeah.
learning about me. To be fair, the last coach before that, when my life was a mess, I didn't communicate the no sleeping part to him, and I should have. But anyhow, I just mean a great coach will make all the difference.
Yeah. Yeah. So I definitely agree with that. Cause like I like never thought, first of all, that I would be able to squat 315 again, let alone like
440.
400, 440. That's a lot of
I
weight.
know.
That was three times my body weight. Okay. That's insane.
Incredible. Like, and I remember, like, I was because obviously we competed at the same time, so I wasn't watching too close. But obviously, you squatted after me because you squatted second to last because Cassie went after you, so you have the record. You hit it first.
Wait,
Um.
actually, Cassie squatted at first
Oh, she squatted it first, but no. But I just checked and it says you have the American record. I just checked it.
because I weighed 3 pounds less than the cutoff weight. So I was one, I think, or two. I was 145 when I weighed in. So because I weighed less, I think that's what happened. But Cassie squatted it first.
No, wait. I'm confused now because it doesn't matter. Like that wouldn't change due to body weight.
Really?
Yeah.
Then I don't know why I got it
Me
then.
either, because I'm quite literally looking at it. Like I double checked. It says American
Yeah,
record.
because I didn't think that I would get it because she squatted it first, right? So when I
Yes.
got the certificate, I was very confused actually. So I don't know.
Well, wish I'd known that first, but it's okay. I'm gonna figure it out. Ask
Okay.
some people, and
Yeah.
maybe I'll just DM you. Or when I put this podcast up, I'll make a little story. Like, actually, this is what happened, so everyone's clear.
Okay.
Once
Okay.
we get once we get 25 minutes in the podcast, this is what happened. All right, cool. That's interesting. But regardless, though, so what happened? Because again, was not looking too close. I can't do that when I compete. What happened on your second squat? Cause you missed it.
It was so stupid because I just forgot to listen to the
Wait, which one? The start or the rack?
start. Like I was just ready to
No.
the guy was taking too long, okay? And I forgot. Like I forgot. I was so focused. I was so focused on like trying to get this squat that like before he said the start command, I kind of like was about to go, but then I was like, "Oh shit, I didn't listen." And then I came back, so it was kind of like a little up down movement.
Mm.
And then he had said start and then I squatted. I got it. Like I would have gotten it if it wasn't for the
Mm-hmm.
little up down movement that I did. I just
But
forgot.
you did. Funny enough, too. I'm not sure if you're aware of this because there have been changes to the rule book, but they came into effect after the competition. That now, if you break your knees or like you break your hips in the squat, but if you can tell it was not like to actually do the lift, it doesn't like you can still get white lights.
I think his mine, they could tell.
Oh no, but honestly, these rules came into effect after nationals.
Okay.
Anyway, so it doesn't matter. But I'm
Okay.
just saying, now for you, you legit started to squat, so like that might be different. But like if someone like breaks knees, push their hips back, and then goes into a squat, and the
Yeah.
chief referee can tell like they weren't trying to squat, like you can still
Okay.
get it, but that's new. So I'm
Okay.
just saying, if you mess it up again, you might have a 50-50 shot of getting right line.
I'm just gonna have to not mess up. I don't want to take any chances. But what happened was that I just forgot, not gonna lie. And I was so mad at myself. I was like,
I'm
oh,
sure you were.
I was like, how can I make such a stupid mistake? I
You're
was
like,
so
this is my
upset.
man left.
And then my coach decided to take the risk, and because that was 429.
Yeah, it was the
And
195.
yes, and then my coach was like, let's go 200 kg because I didn't miss it because of like depth or anything,
Mm-hmm.
It was just because of that little up down movement. So we went up anyway, and I was so sad, okay? But he was talking to me, he was hyping me up. He was like, you got this, Mandy. Tell me you got this.
I love it.
So awesome because one thing I also love about him is he knows how to talk to you when you're down.
Mm-hmm.
When I was having these back flare ups and stuff, I would have a mental breakdown. I would think my life is over. Like I could have been a world champion, but my life is over. But then he would like talk to me, and he would, calm me down, and he'd, talk me out of my own mind. So then even when I do have back flare ups, I'm not like as upset about it. I'm just like, he's always like what can we control in this moment? And so yeah, I don't have mental breakdowns anymore when I get injured. I think it through because of him. And so that's pretty awesome as well. Yeah.
Well, that's fantastic because, especially you tell me how he spoke to you after, it's
Yeah.
hard to know how to talk to a particular client when they're feeling down. Because like even I'm thinking about myself, like I couldn't handle that. I would need them to be like, listen, we're still gonna go for it, and then I'd be like, good, leave me alone now. Like, I need to be by myself. Like like
Yeah.
that's me. So it's tough. You have to like learn the athlete. So it's so good that you guys like are on that level where he knows how to help and handle you and knows what to say to you.
Yes. Cause like I was like, if I were in his shoes, I wouldn't even know what to do. I was like, would I have like redone the 429, or would I have gone up? Like I feel like I would have been stuck. Like I would have been overthinking, but he knew exactly what to do. He knew how to talk to me and get me to not be as upset about it. He was like, it's okay, like we can still do this. And he believes in me when I don't even believe in myself. So that's always really helpful to have.
I love that. But also that just speaks that he's a very experienced coach because me thinking about the situation, no doubt in my mind I would have went up because you're at nationals. Like we came here for a reason. Like number one, you clearly came there, you want to get that record. And number two is like it's prime time. You don't play it safe because if you lose those 5 kilos, like making it up's hard. You can't just make up 5 more kilos on bench press. You can't just add 10
Absolutely.
pounds to your bench. It's not that easy. Like unless you're Jen Thompson, congratulations. Like I can't just add 5 more kilos to my bench. And then you have deadlifts, and it's like if you know your main lift is the squat, you have to push.
Yeah, yeah. So I think he made a really good decision on his part because I wouldn't have known what to do in that moment if I were like by myself or whatever. I would have just been crying probably.
Well, I don't think anyone has gone. Those that I see, maybe someone has gone to prime time by themselves. So I don't think that would happen either. Just
Yeah, I
collapse
don't
on the
know.
ground, crying. No one puts a number
Like,
in.
hypothetically,
I
like,
know, I know. Your bench press too also went really well. I see at your last meet before this, you hit 209, so we added 5 more kilos.
yeah.
You attempted 220 at the last meet, right?
Yes, but I failed miserably. But so we wanted to do 225. But my second attempt looked kind of hard. So he was like, let's just play it safe and do 220. But then the 220 moved faster than my second attempt. Does that make sense?
Oh, at nationals.
Yes, yes.
Okay. I thought we were
On
talking about the other meet, and I was like, wait, well, I just failed it.
no, on at prime time.
Okay.
So my third attempt was 220. My second attempt, I forgot what it was. But my
215.
215. Okay, so the 220 moved faster than the 215. Because the 215 moved kind of slow, he wanted to just play it safe and do 220 instead of the 225.
Got you.
But then the 220 ended up moving really good. So yeah.
I'm sure it's one of those moments where he was like, at the end, I like hands up, like, really? You couldn't have done that in the second attempt? All right.
Tricked me. You tricked me.
I thought you only had 5 more pounds.
Yeah. I was playing games.
Oh my god. But no, honestly, especially on meet day, like I say that all the time, where like the third somehow looks faster for somebody, and it's like they just have this drive to like you just know you have to hit it, and you just
Yes. Yeah. It's so crazy. Plus, I thought, because like I don't really know my numbers going into it. He tells
Mhm.
me after. So I thought it was 225, So I was like, I really have to push really hard. So maybe that's why
I
it
love it.
moved fast. Because I thought it was heavier than what it actually was. So yeah.
Did you hit 225 in training?
No, I haven't yet. Because
Oh,
my bench is so like, I mean, it's progressing.
clearly.
Really, like if I wasn't like, when I was telling you that my upper body was already developed, so I was never doing upper body, I was only doing legs before I started
Mm.
practicing. If I had just benched, I was I'm so mad at myself.
But you didn't know the sport existed. So it's
I
like,
know. Like I could have been benching 300 right now.
but I'm not
Not
even gonna put it
800.
past you. I'm not even gonna put it past you. Good. Your first meet was 150, and now you're at 220. That's 70 pounds. So yeah.
But I feel like because I feel like my bench holds me back. I
I
feel
hear
like
you.
it holds me back. So, because I could have, I, it's okay. It's okay. I can't be upset with myself. I
I'm about
didn't.
to say, like, since you started and been consistent, it keeps going up. So it will get there. But 100 kilos is really not, it's not bad. It's not, obviously, like, it's not like the end of our weight class, but
Yeah,
it's still not, it's respectable. Like, very
yeah,
respectable then.
yeah. It's still more than some guys.
Oh, well, duh. I
I'll
mean,
take it.
for sure. So when we get to these deadlifts, now again, you're gonna have to kind of walk me through a little bit because I was in my own little world at this point.
Okay.
So you did 407 and 435. Now your last lift was 452. Obviously, there's a lot of battling around for numbers. You're trying to hit the podium, you're trying to place. So like, did you guys have a conversation after your 435 second pull? No. Okay. So okay.
We did not have the conversation. I thought I was going to pull 200 kg because that was my 440 because that was my goal.
Mm-hmm.
Um, because like the most I had touched with deadlift in training was 429.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So my goal
Oh, you're
and
annoying. Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
so my goal, because like 429 moved very well in
Mm,
training. Obviously, my goal was 440 squat, 440 deadlift,
nice.
And so then I think JP, my coach, was because like I wanted to place, obviously, like that was his goal. And I don't know what came over him, but instead of 200 kg, he just put 205 because he thought that that would give me the best chance of like placing. And so, yeah, we I just went in very blindly, thought I was going to be pulling 440, and I was so happy to find out that it was actually 451. It was awesome. I was like, wow, I cannot believe I did that.
No, that's incredible too. How did it move? Was it slow? Was it fast?
I mean, it was slow. It was not too slow. I think I could have done 5 more kg, to be honest.
Really, girl, you
Yeah,
out
because
here.
it moved really well. It moved really well because the technique, I had gotten way better with the technique. I think my problem before was that I would get stuck at the top. Like the weight would move fast, but I would get stuck at the top, like with lockout. So we worked on that a lot and I got better. And so 451, I didn't get stuck at all whatsoever. It moved very smoothly. And yeah, he made a really good decision putting that 205. So yeah.
Excellent. I mean, beautiful. Like you're the meet before. You were. It was April 13th, right? So 5 months passed, and you went from a 501 dots to 527. Like that's
Yeah,
pretty wild. Like the progress has been progressing.
thank you. I was working really hard. Like I think after collegiate nationals, I was not happy with my performance because it was like a 6 out of a 9. I know I won and everything, but like I could do better, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And so a few days after, I was like, hey, let's get back to work because there's still a lot that I need to work on. Like, I need to learn how to deadlift, I need to learn how to bench. And then we switched from high bar squat to low bar. And
Oh my
so
god, I don't know how I didn't bring that up. Wait, pause. I'm sorry I'm cutting you off.
it's
Because
okay.
when I first looked you up, like 3 months before the preview show, right? So I don't know when that is. June? Maybe June. I don't know. Whenever I saw you first, I was like, this is when me and Steve were talking. We were like, yo, when she gets like her technique down, she's gonna be crazy. Because I remember being like, yo, she's so strong, but why is she only doing high bar squats? And I'm like, I don't think she realizes like she should just switch to low bar and like it's gonna be a wrap. Like
We were like doing high bar because of my back.
oh the
But
back pain.
also because I had never done low bar before. Like high
Mm-hmm.
bar, I was just used to high bar and I just knew how to do it so well because that's all I've ever done. And I was also like having problems with my back a lot more. So he thought that we should just wait until my back got a little better before we switched to low bar, which we did. And at first, I did not like it because
Oh, of course.
it felt so weird. Okay. Because, like, high bar, I felt like the bar could just like rest on my trap. I could
Mm-hmm.
literally let go of the bar and it would just sit there. But I felt like with low bar, I had to like actively, like, it was taking more brain power trying to keep the bar on my back, you know? That was before I knew how to like I was more comfortable with it. But once I got comfortable with it, then it was just over. Then it was just over.
I love it, and this is a good thing for the audience to hear because, like, or for anyone who's like switching, like the first few times you do a movement, even if it's similar, it's gonna feel weird.
It felt
But
so good.
oh yeah, like low bar, you really do have to pull the bar into your back versus high bar, where
Yeah.
like truly is like you chilling, the bar sitting on top,
My
like
hands were just like resting on the bar. Like I
yeah,
wasn't
just like barely touching.
yeah. And then what helped me with low bar was also like with high bar, my arms were further apart. I
Mm-hmm.
was trying to do that with low bar too, but I started looking at other people and I was like, hey, their arms are pretty close together. Let me try that. And it actually helped a lot
Yeah.
to like get comfortable with it when I brought my arms closer together. So that was pretty cool too.
It's so exciting because like you're so like new to learning about powerlifting still, and I'm like disgusted because you American record squat. And I'm like, and she barely knows how to the bar squat. Like she learned about it this year and then went and did it. But it's no, but real talk though, like it's so incredible. Like I
Thank
can't wait to
you.
see you like in another year. Like
Thank you. That means a lot to me. Thank you so much.
so
Thank you.
what is next for you? What's your next meet?
I wanted to do the Arnold, but I don't know.
What's that mean? But I don't know what, huh?
Because I'm having back pains again,
Oh,
and
okay.
I just don't know. My coach is like, why are you worrying about this now? Like, it's literally still, like when I talked to him about this, it was October. He's like, we're in October. Like, let's focus on the now. But I tend to freak out sometimes because anxiety.
Well,
So
it's fair. Pain is scary. So
it's so
it's fair
scary.
to not want to go out there and worry if you're going to be in pain and have lower numbers.
Exactly. Like when I go, I want to like show out, but I don't want to go if I can't show out because of my back. Plus, I don't want to make it worse.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know, but it's getting better. The back pain is, I recently started squatting heavy again. So it's getting better for sure, but it's like a slow progression, I guess.
Okay. Okay.
I'm trying to my coach is doing good, like talking to me about it and like letting me know that we have to focus on right now and what we can control and not think too far ahead into the future because literally anything can happen. And we've been here before. We've literally been here before where my back hurts so bad that whenever I would wake up in the morning, like it hurt to just walk, you know.
Mm.
But this pain isn't as intense as what I have experienced before. And so I'm trying to think that like I'm trying to think positively. Like I've been through worse. So yeah, he's helping me with that, and I'm trying to not focus on the Arnold right now, but we'll see. We'll see.
I agree with your coach. Definitely, when you're dealing with pain, you have to focus on how you're feeling now. Because if
Yeah.
you worry about how the future, it's just going to stress you out. And
Yes.
speaking of stress, someone mentioned at the beginning of the podcast, you graduate this year in December.
Yeah, I'm very stressed out right now. But knowing that I'm going to be graduating is helping because it's hard balancing work, school, and training, you know, because I can't stop training. Okay,
No, you
I'm
can't.
addicted, and it makes me happy. It's the only thing that really makes me happy. I think if I were to stop, I would be depressed.
I hear you.
I love training, and I can't stop working because I need money.
What do you do for work? And then what are you in school for?
So I work at Factory Gym, which is a popular bodybuilding, powerlifting training facility in Austin, Texas. So it's most people know it as the Green Gym because it has like lime green everywhere, but it's really cool. It's a really cool gym. But I work there and I am studying exercise and sports science with a concentration in pre-rehab, which is basically physical therapy. So, because my thought process, I was like, I'm going to be doing this lifting thing for a long time. I might as well know how to heal myself if I ever get like hurt. So I decided to I think physical therapy has taught me a lot already. especially working in clinics too. Because I work in clinics to like get hours because I have to go to graduate school later on too. So
Mm-hmm.
so yeah. What about you? What do you do?
Well, real quick, that's super exciting that like you're gonna learn how to heal yourself and then help others.
Yes.
That's cool.
Help others too.
I do, girl. I'm a full-time coach, full-time powerlifting coach.
Awesome. Do you love
Yeah. I love it with my whole heart. I'm still like, I wake up sometimes like, yo, I really get to be a full-time powerlifting coach. Like, that's it. Like, that's all I do.
awesome?
I also coach nutrition, but it's for my lifters. But yeah. So,
That's awesome. I hope that, one day I love my job as much as you love coaching. Like, wake up every day and think, wow, I'm so happy to be doing this. I think
it,
that's a lot of people's goals to just be like happy. So I'm glad that you're there.
I appreciate you. And it's a beautiful thing, dude. Like, truly, like, because I know a lot of people who don't love their job. I'm like, I can't, I remember those days. I'm like, I can't imagine right now waking up upset to go somewhere. I'd be like, yo, I'm over it. Like, you have to work daily. So no one wants to work a job you're miserable at.
Yeah. Especially if it's like with if you're working with like people, like if you have
Mm-hmm.
but then you're taking it out on them and it's just so bad.
But so are you already looking at grad schools? Because I know you do have to go to grad school to come
Not
out.
yet. Not yet, because like grad school with physical therapy, you have to have a lot of experience.
Okay.
What I already have 1 year experience at a clinic that I worked at, but I need more than one experience. I need experiences at multiple different clinics. So after I graduate, I'm gonna get a job as a physical therapy tech at
Mm-hmm.
like a different place than what I worked at before. And then with more with more of these experiences, it will increase my chances of getting accepted into a graduate program. So that's my plan.
Cool. Okay. Can't wait to see Doctor. I have a feeling whatever job you said would have you being Dr. Ogo. Like,
Yeah.
I
Yeah. If
think it's because you're from Africa. Maybe I'm being. Like people come over and like, yes, I came over and now I'm gonna be a doctor. Like I like a lot. I know a lot of people like that.
really
I do.
but yeah, because it's like a graduate program. So I would be Dr. Ogo.
Yes, that's cool.
Yeah, I'm excited, but also nervous because it is very competitive. And yeah, I just hope that I can do it, you know.
Girl, you know you can do it. It's gonna take a
I,
lot of work though. A lot of work.
I just need to like believe in myself more too.
Yes,
Yeah.
you do because you be out here like you even sound like you're like even talk about lifting. You're like, yeah, I can't believe I did it. Like, no, you gotta be like, yeah, I did that. Like,
Because I don't want to be cocky. Like, I don't want to come across as cocky, but I did work really hard for this.
you
So
did. You deserve everything you get in. It's not cocky to say I did that. Like, it really isn't.
thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that a lot.
Oh my gosh. All right. If there was one thing you could go back in time and tell your younger self something that would help you today, what would it be? It can be for lifting, for school, but just something you've learned. You're like, man, if I know that earlier, that'd been dope.
I think going back to when I was talking about when I would have literal mental breakdowns about having injuries, I think if I could go back, I would tell myself, like, it's okay. Also, like, whenever I was having the injury and I didn't think I would be able to even squat 315 again, I would tell myself, like, dude, just wait, okay? Just like there's no point in stressing about it because it's a waste of stress not even knowing what's going to happen in the future. Because what if you're like stressing now and then in the future everything turns out to be okay, then you were
Mm-hmm.
stressing for no reason. So
Mm-hmm.
So I would have told myself to just chill out. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. Like, you will get through this. It's okay. Because I do have a lot of anxiety a lot of the time. And I'm just learning how to calm down. So that's what I would have told my younger self.
I love it. And then last question. You may
Okay.
not have one because you're newer to the sport, but do you have a powerlifting inspiration, or like an idol?
um, Let me think. I know I have one.
Can't be your coach. Does not count. And see,
Hold on, maybe I can look just like 2 seconds.
take your time. You're like that person who I see all the time on IG. Who was it again?
Okay, so Listus.
Lysis. Oh, I
Yeah,
call her Lysis. Am I wrong?
I don't know.
I heard Lysis on podcast.
You
That's
said,
why I stuck with. I heard Lysis on the podcast. It's the name I heard. So,
like, have you seen her bench?
oh my
Hello,
god,
squatting
I,
500 plus. Like,
she's insane.
what is the deal? I definitely want to be her when I grow up.
Like, and then she's a junior. Is she your age? She's probably 22.
My age,
She's
I
21.
think.
Yo,
Wait,
disgusting.
I think she's 22, but yeah,
A junior, don't matter. She's junior.
yeah, yeah. So yeah, she's incredible in my opinion. I look up to her.
I'll take that one because like she's your age and crushing it and getting ridiculously strong, and she just looks so fierce. And I'm like, I'm just here for this. Like, I love it all.
Beautiful. I love her.
She's so pretty. I think is she from Ireland? Am I wrong?
I think so. I think she is. But yeah, that's one of my biggest inspirations.
I love that.
Thank you.
All right. Oh, girl, thank you for joining me. I loved talking to you. It's been really fun.
Oh, I love talking. I was a little nervous, not gonna lie, but I warmed up to it and I ended up really enjoying this. So thank you for having me on here as well.
I'm happy you got warm and toasty. And, and of course, thank you for joining. And y'all, catch you next time on the Power and Lifting Podcast.